Link engaged.
Visit us at TeamSpeak.com.
You know, the kind of setup they've got here is tricky, but it's absolutely fantastic when it works well, and thanks to Rich and Hotbit for getting that all sorted out here. I bring you the one and only NEXIceCream. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Terran up to the northeast of the Xel'Naga Caverns versus his opponent and teammate, the one and only Line. Yes, Line. He is in the purple trunks, and he is playing Zerg.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a 2-Rex opening TotalBiscuit. I'm going to put it out there for you.
Okay.
And the reason for that is he had such good success with it in the first game, and I think that's his only real shot, to be honest, to beat Line, because Line is such a good player that in the first few minutes of the game, anyone can win. And I think that's NEXIceCream's best shot, so I hope that he does do that, and he can try and advance that way.
Yes, we'll see what NEXIceCream's flavor happens to be later on in the game, and we'll see if he can deal with Line more to the point, who has proven to be highly resilient.
Oh, he is actually going to go for Refinery, though, so we're not going to see a 2-Rex play.
That's quite an early Refinery.
Yeah, it is. It's before the barracks here, as you can see. So we're going to have to see what that could be. It could
Banshee,
mean a lot
maybe?
of things. It could be Banshee, but most likely faster reactor Hellions, get the factory up a little bit faster, get the reactor on a little bit faster, and then kind of hit with an awkward timing that not a lot of Zerg players are used to. And then it's like, oh man, you got them like 1 minute early. I didn't have any lings. I went for a round of drones rather than a round of units. So we'll have to see what he does try to hit in this game. And it could be a special one. That could be a special one.
Spawning pool coming up right here, and Line with the extractor to follow that one up. Not wanting to open up with a hatchery just yet. I am intrigued to see. You're probably right with the factory timing, looking at the amount of gas that's coming in right here. So early Hellions could be a little bit awkward to deal with on Xel'Naga Caverns, particularly bearing it in mind this not-so-secret hallway down the bottom that gives all sorts of crazy access.
And what are we going to see down? It looks like we are going to be seeing a factory being planted down now to complete the wall off. That's good. Are we going to be seeing that reactor, though? He needs to be putting that down ASAP with the next 50 gas. Does he do that, though? TotalBiscuit, does he do it?
We are about to find out. Yes, he does. There you go.
So it looks like we are going to be seeing some fast reactor Hellion opening. And like I said, could do a lot of damage, especially because he's not going to be really used to the timing a little bit. But he should be able to identify it, especially because he's moving out with these lings now. He's going to control both Xel'Naga towers, he's going to control the opposition mineral line, and also be popping up and down that ramp all day long. But by the time he even gets there, TotalBiscuit, Hellions will be in construction.
Yes, they will. And Hellions are wonderful. It's kind of unusual to see NEXIceCream building flamethrower units, I have to say. It doesn't look like it would be his kind of style, but hey, whatever works. There's the swap around, needs to get that down very, very quickly before the lings get underneath it. Ooh.
That was close.
That is stressful. For any Terran player, that is stressful to see.
I know, and I think that if he hadn't have moved around with his lings a little bit and actually just gone in, I think he could have got in there, but he turned around for a brief second and he was locked out. Indeed, and so do we have any more lings made? The speed is only at 50% right now, so it's going to be hard to use the lings efficiently because he's just not going to have any. He needs to be building a spine crawler ASAP, otherwise there's just going to be so much damage here to the economy.
Yeah, so Line definitely saw that, and there's no question. His vision clearly shows a reactor and a factory, which can only mean one thing. But we're not seeing Line actually doing anything about it right now, so what do you think's going through his head?
I think that he feels comfortable that speed's going to finish quite soon and that he can deal with it with just only speedlings. He, hasn't got a Roach Warren. He hasn't got a Spine Crawler yet, and the speed's just about to finish too. So in total, he's going to have 12 lings. The problem is he's not going to see when they come or where they come from, because he doesn't really have that much map vision because he lost his Xel'Naga towers to the Hellions. But 12 look pretty good. 12 lings are good against 4 Hellions. Against 6, you're going to be in trouble because he's going to be able to micro them well, and we're going to have to see a lot more lings made out, I think.
Possibly a little bit of overconfidence against his teammate NEXIceCream right here, who is looking to do some initial damage, and of course, he can do some damage to the Queen, which, there's nothing wrong with that, if that's what happens to be at the Hellion. He's actually doing amazing damage to it, and look at that, there's a little bit of barbecue action going on right now as the Hellions stream into the mineral line. I could just get stuck in a record kind of rut right there. That would be crazy. The line of line, folks, and looking for the surround of line. No, we don't want a line from line. That would be terrible. That would be roasting action. action, and that's exactly what happens. Ice Cream right into the second mineral line of line. Oh, that I can't even bear to watch. I'm not even a Zerg player, and that looks painful.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you underestimate Hellion openings. You just get overrun like this. And look at the unit tab now. 10 drones versus 26 SCVs. A bunch of speedlings have been made now. He's overmade in speedlings. And I can imagine that Ice Cream is trollololling in his base because he hasn't got any Hellions. He's not going to go for any aggressive build now. He's just going to sit back, get siege mode. There's nothing. And once again, we're in this kind of awkward situation just like game 1 where you're so far behind in drones you're just going to have to cut corners all game and you're not going to have any form of units out once again.
Yeah, Ice Cream just chilling right now, which is to be expected, and Orbital Command is ready to move when he decides it's safe to do so. Army count is looking very, very nice. I'd like to point out the number of workers that were actually killed was 22 for Ice Cream right there, so that's a problem, honestly. That even if you happen to be line, that's going to be difficult to come back from.
Yeah, I mean, he did come back with a drone count, but he just couldn't come back, and he's trying to do it. The thing of this game, he does have queens, so he's going to be able to have a lot more lava. He can get that drone count up faster, but once again, we're going to be seeing the same thing from Ice Cream. He's going to get stim, he's going to push out with a bunch of tanks, and he's going to hit this timing again where you just can't defend it because you don't have any units left. And
yeah, army supply is not looking pretty right now, is it?
Yeah, it's not. And if he tries to go all in, he's got siege mode now, so there's nothing he can do. So he has to drone. He has to get a third base ASAP, and Ice Cream's definitely just going to go for some timing.
This could be problematic, and down comes the starport as well to follow that one up for Ice Cream, who's looking nice and secure for the moment. A Baneling Nest is on the way for line, but more to the point, will it be able to do anything? He does have some nice Zerglings hidden in the not-so-secret hallway up to the top of this map behind the radar-immune reeds. Don't even ask me how that makes any sense.
The biggest turnaround point in this matchup in any situation you get into is borrowed Baneling. So what I'd love to see is just try to go to layer, try to squeeze out the layer. I wouldn't go for the melee attack. I'd try to squeeze out the layer and try to get borrow, and hopefully you might be able to get some borrowed Banelings off. But other than that, it's going to be so hard to deal with. Even with +1 melee against all these tanks, against all these marines, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And now the engineering base going down as well. He's playing so safe. Look at that complete wall off. Nothing's going to be able to bust through that at all.
Yeah, I would consider that to be fairly Baneling proof for the time being. Admittedly, that mineral line at the back might be a little dodgy, but still, Ice Cream decides now is the time to move out. It's 43 army supply to 16 in favor of Ice Cream. The worker supply count has started to equalize now for line, but he's sacrificed so many units in order to make that happen. But he's looking for an opportunity, and he manages to find one as he charges into the line of Ice Cream, and he'll be able to clean up a few units. He gets us around on the mule and nails it down. A single marine trying to desperately hold up against that one, but there wasn't a huge count of Zerglings, and now Ice Cream is going to apply some big pressure to the back rocks.
Yeah, and he's going to see that there's no third base yet, so he's going to anticipate a lot of units. He's going to go ahead and kill this. Stim is not so far away from finishing. I'd probably even wait to kill them rocks just for like 10 more seconds before Stim is done.
Oh, why not? Let's just charge in and do damage. We've got lots of tanks. That's the Terran way. And the Evolution Chamber is going to get its research cancelled by the looks of it. We've got those moving in right there. The Zerglings moving in to try and attack Ice Cream, who has a fairly secure line, I've got to say. He's managed to wall off quite nicely. And now he's got the bunker being able to cover that. In the meantime, we see, once again, big damage. Big damage. Evolution Chamber is down. And that economic line is in a very nasty position.
Okay, so what Line needs to do now is recollect all the lings together. Everything together, all go at once. It's your one hope. He's going to go for a surround, as you can see. Lings going around the back, Banelings and Lings from the front. All drones as well. This is it. He has to do it, TotalBiscuit.
It's got to be a good one, and there's the Baneling detonation. The drone's charging in as well. He's able to clear up the tanks, but he takes huge damage in the process. That one tank, which is nicely secured to the side, has picked up 14 kills already, and it looks like Ice Cream holds, and this is going to perhaps be the end for Line. I don't see a comeback coming in right here.
And it doesn't look like it. And GG called. Wow.
Yeah, there you go, folks. Line is out, and his teammate Ice Cream advances into the finals.
That is a surprising result for me, for you, for all you guys at home watching. That is a huge win there for Ice Cream. And I said before we even started the series, I predicted Line to win. I haven't really heard too much of Ice Cream before, or won. You may know him by taking that win 2-1. Great game. And now we're going to go into the finals soon with Hack, Terran player, versus Ice Cream here.
Yes, Ice Cream delivers. It is very, very good indeed. And we'll be looking to get into the next game as soon as we've got everything sorted out. We're going to take a brief break, folks. You are watching the Team Liquid Open number 17, sponsored by TeamSpeak 3 and, of course, Team Liquid. Myself, TotalBiscuit, commentating with the one and only Mr. D. Apollo. We'll be back with the finals very shortly, folks. Don't go anywhere.